Doctors always recommend that you should get your flu vaccine every year. You may be wondering to yourself, why do I need a new vaccine every year? Well, here's why. So, first of all, influenza is an infectious disease that is caused by the influenza virus and affects the upper respiratory system. There are four types of influenza viruses, but A and B are the two that spread the most easily between humans and are the reasons for seasonal epidemics. The varying flu strains originated from different animals such as birds and pigs. In terms of the actual science behind the flu, the virus consists of an RNA virus encased in a capsid and is fully surrounded by a lipid envelope with protein spikes. Who can get the flu, you might ask? Well, the answer is everyone. Anyone is prone to getting the flu. However, it mainly affects the younger and older populations. In the United States, people over the age of 65 made up 54 to 70% of all flu related hospitalizations and 71 to 85% of flu related deaths. Those who have a weak immune system are very susceptible to getting the flu, and the only way of preventing infection is by getting vaccinated every year. So, some history about the flu is in 1918, the Spanish flu came to America and then spread worldwide. It was caused by the H1N1 virus, and about a third of the world's population was infected with it. It was very deadly, as estimated that about 50 million people died in the epidemic, and since the population was about 1.8 billion at the time, around 3% of the world's population died from the flu. So in the graph on the right, we can see how life expectancy plummeted during the years of the epidemic, and the effects it had on the planet were very vast. Standard of living became very poor, and society struggled after the epidemic.
There are two possible types of changes to the flu virus: antigenic drift and shift. A drift contains small changes that eventually alter the surface proteins of the virus, which the immune system is able to see and respond appropriately to. As replication occurs, the drift continues and typically creates closely related viruses that the body can identify and fight. Over time, the changes accumulate and can create a different virus, making it harder for the body to detect. A shift is essentially the opposite. It is a major change in the virus that creates entirely new proteins. When this occurs, we have no previously built immunity to fight this virus. It is crucial for people to get the vaccine in order to build immunity and ensure our bodies can fight this changing virus. The flu shot reduces your risk of developing this virus by nearly 60% and lessens the severity of the sickness. There is a 40% less chance of being admitted to the hospital and 82% less chance to be admitted to the ICU. If you have a disease like diabetes, the vaccine reduces the chance of flu symptoms worsening. Pregnant women also have a 50% less chance of developing a respiratory infection and even protects children once they are born. Getting the vaccine also helps protect those who cannot receive it through herd immunity. Over the last 100 years, the number of flu related deaths has declined drastically. While social changes can account for some of this, the vaccine is responsible for much of the decrease in mortality. There are still spikes during certain seasons, however, so it is extremely important to still get vaccinated. While chances are much lower of developing this virus, it is still necessary to know how to treat it if you do get it. If vaccinated, lots of rest and water will do the trick. Over the counter medications can also help, and if symptoms continue to worsen, you can contact your doctor for antiviral medications.
Most of us are told to get vaccinated against the flu. Some may ask, why is it so important to get vaccinated? Well, influenza can lead to hospitalization and sometimes even death. Every flu season is different. It usually spreads around the United States around October and May. It is important to get vaccinated early and yearly due to the different strains of the flu. According to the Mayo Clinic, the flu can be more dangerous for children under 5 or infants, those older than 65, pregnant women, and people with health conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, and asthma. CDC stated that around the year 2010 to 2020, the flu had caused 12,000 to 52,000 deaths annually and around 140,000 to 710,000 hospitalizations. Now for the components of the vaccine. Each year there is a new and updated version of the vaccine. It contains tiny weakened amounts of the flu virus. A common concern that comes with this is that the vaccine causes the flu rather than protects us against it. According to Medical News Today, the viruses in the shot are inactivated or dead and cannot cause the flu. The main components are formaldehyde, which is used to inactivate toxins and viruses, aluminum salts, which create a stronger immune response against the virus, thimerosal, which prevents the vaccine from getting contaminated, chicken egg proteins, which help the viruses grow before getting into the vaccine, gelatin, which is used as a stabilizer to keep the vaccine effective, and antibiotics, which keep the bacteria from growing into the vaccine. And now for some resources. Some people may not know who to contact or where to get vaccinated. Flu vaccines are available at local pharmacies, health centers, and health departments. People who have flu symptoms should reach out to their healthcare provider. If they have any allergies, they should report any severe allergic reaction to the vaccine adverse event reporting system. And now these are our sources. Thank you for listening to our presentation. I hope you all learned a little more about influenza and why it's important to get vaccinated.